In the early 80s, I started a group called American Industrial Arts Student Association, and then became TSA. We went to conferences around the state, and it got to where Granite Mountain Middle School was the group that everybody tried to beat, and they didn't. In the early 90s, I heard about a project with AMSAT, that's American Satellite Corporation of North America, and American Radio Relay League were putting together a project where they were going to have schools communicate with the space shuttles while they were in orbit. And I thought that was fantastic. Around this time, they were doing the Teacher in Space activity, and I knew my hearing was too far gone then. But I thought, well, maybe we can do this with the kids. I found out what needed to be done and started studying for my first ham radio license. And we finally, in 1994, we did our contact with the Space Shuttle Columbia. We had 25 kids prepared to speak with the commander, Bob Cabana, while it was in orbit.
Students participate in actual NASA missions.
13 students talked to him while they were orbiting the Earth. So that was one of my major accomplishments in teaching. So I bought a decent quality camera. And then I got hooked. I had a photo business for 25 years, and I brought that into the classroom. A friend showed me how to make a pinhole camera out of a Pringles can. So we made Pringles pinhole cameras. For years, we put a darkroom in at Granite Mountain. So the kids learned a little bit about camera obscura. They would go out and they would do photos. They come into the darkroom, go through the soup, and create their photos. We did everything on photographic paper, and it was a hoot. The kids loved it.
Terry Pemberton, I was introduced to him in 6th grade at Granite Mountain when I was going to school in PUSD. Still remember doing photography through Pringles cans. I'm blessed to be teaching with him now. It's such a blast. So I had him as a teacher, and now I'm teaching with him.
I have kids in here that are terrified the first day that they walk into my shop, boys and girls both.
When you were a student and you were super scared of him, that gruff voice gotcha.
Although you're shaking now, in a week it'll be old hat, and you know you can do all this.
The first time I ever walked into his classroom, it was nerve-wracking because he's really loud.
And once we've gone through safety and you have a grasp of what we're doing, there's nothing in here you can't do, and I will help you.
We have to cut metal a lot. Like a lot. It's a big thing, and it has a handle, so you have to tug it really hard. I can't do it because I'm too light, so I have to have Mr. Pemberton do it.
You'll be amazed at how skilled you become. And when we go over safety in my class, I'm pretty strict about it. I'm a very easygoing guy, but I have zero sense of humor when it comes to safety.
Kind of like a gentle giant in a way. He's really nice.
They're having fun and learning, and they don't realize they're working really hard, but they are, and they're enjoying every minute of it, I hope.
It's kind of like just walking into a normal classroom, and then when you walk into the workshop, it's like, oh, things are going to be fun.
I always really look forward to going to Mr. Pemberton's class. It's just so much fun. When you go in there, he always greets you, and he's like, oh, hey, kiddo.
Mr. Pemberton makes me feel happier about being at school. He makes me want to come.
I look forward to going to Mr. Pemberton's class because it's always a safe environment, and it's a lot of fun just to hang out there with him.
Teaching is partially curriculum, and the rest of it is just being able to work with each other and being able to communicate with the age group. And I guess I'm childish enough that I fit right in, and my entire 50-year time has been from 6th through 9th grade. And I'm now, I think, around 17,000 students that I've had. So it's the coolest job I've ever had. Teaching is not for the money. And if anybody goes into this kind of work as a paycheck, forget it. And I don't have lots of money, but I'm a wealthy son of a gun. I don't go any place. I don't run into former students or parents. I call this thing a Picket Twister, and this is out of an old 4-speed pickup. I have to turn this 5 times to get this to turn 1 time. It's amazingly strong. And I made it left-handed because I'm left-handed and I live in a right-hand world. I've been making barbecue tools for a long time. They're such a fun tool to have for camping and all that. Now, when we're making our grips for our barbecue tools, the kids are going to work quite a while on this. And we crank it around. It bends so tight. And the kids are always amazed that when they finish this, it's so darn hot because of all of the friction required in the bending. And that's my Picket Twister. It's the worst teaching year of my life, okay? I've had other years that I've been tempted to quit. I love what I do. I stuck it out. I'd always prided myself on having a curriculum that will continue whether the power goes out, the computers go out, my class continues until the pandemic.
Yeah, we fought through every epidemic that ever hit, but we never closed. SARS, H1N1, you name them, and all the little outbreaks, we were right there in the classroom. I said, we barely missed the Spanish flu.
I was teaching from my little office at home, and I'm not exaggerating to say I was doing 15 and 16 hours a day there. I'm a hands-on class. Everything we do is in here. And I had to come up with a curriculum that was technical in nature, easy enough for the kids to do, and easy enough that they can do it at home with zero supplies. I've always spent my time behind a camera, and to stick a camera on myself and teach a lesson or do it on my computer was very difficult for me. And it took me a long time to get over being as self-conscious as the kids were in working this way.
Oh yeah, the big 5-0. More power to him. I don't know if I could ever do that. It's good for him.
My wife even said, you think Terry's teaching? I said, he's teaching.
You're still teaching? He goes, yeah. And I go, well, good for you. And he goes, yeah, I may be doing this a long time, so I hope he continues.
Hey, Terry, you should just gone to subbing. There's no grades, there's no faculty meetings. Sub for 50 years and you would have had it made.
He's always trying to be a better teacher, which I think is just amazing.
I am still the student when it comes to Terry. He's always teaching me new things. Always learning from him. I give him a hard time. You know, I keep saying that he played basketball with Jesus.
50 years is a lot of teaching. I give you props.
I'm super surprised. For 50 years, that's like more than half of his life.
Congratulations from teaching for 50 years, because that's a really long time. Obviously longer than I've been on the earth.
Congratulations, Mr. Pemberton, for those 50 years. That's amazing, and thank you for being the best teacher ever.
I want to congratulate Terry on 50 years of teaching. What an accomplishment, what a milestone. You told me you'd go 50 years, and you're a man of your word. In our early years, we went to the convocations, and as young teachers, we watched all these teachers being recognized for years of service, 25, 30, 35, 40, and I know I went and said, these guys are nuts. And I know the last time I saluted you was my 41st convocation. It was the last time I saluted you. It was easy to find each other because there was very few. We also had the white heads. So congratulations for going 8 more and making it 50, Terry. Very proud of you. I want to tell you that every teacher in this country should spend a week in the classroom with you, that our teaching profession would be recognized worldwide as being great. Thank you for the commitment and dedication to the children of Prescott, including my kids. You are truly one of the best professionals I've ever known in my life. Love you.